Under the soft gleam of stage lights and amid the gentle murmur of his family's support, Justin Trudeau stood before his people with eyes wet and heart full. In a farewell filled with raw emotion, he delivered one final jab aimed squarely at Donald Trump, setting the stage for a clash that would carry on even after his exit. Could this heartfelt moment be the spark for what comes next? Forced from office after a surge of cabinet resignations in the waning months of 2024, Trudeau was seen tenderly dabbing his eyes with a tissue during last night's gathering at his Liberal Party conference. At 53, his departure marks the end of an era as his successor, former Bank of England chief Mark Carney, readies himself to lead. Carney, fresh from winning the party's leadership race, wasted no time in continuing the verbal crossfire, accusing the fiery Republican by saying he's been attacking Canadian workers, families, and businesses. What secret strength will guide Canada now? In his tear-stained address, Trudeau declared, "Don't get me wrong, I'm damn proud of what we've done over these past 10 years. But tonight is about our future as a party, as a country." His words carried the weight of history and hope, even as he warned of looming economic dangers. With a trembling yet determined voice, he pointed to the threat of massive tariffs from U.S. President Donald Trump, tariffs that could cripple the nation's economy, and insisted that Canada is the country who will fight when we must, elbows up. How far will this resolve take them? He went on to note that in the face of daunting challenges, Canadians are now boldly showing what makes us, by proudly embracing who we are. Addressing the gathered party members, he urged, "Your country needs you maybe more than ever. And I have no doubt that you will answer the call, because you've done it before. Liberals will meet this moment." He painted the present as a nation-defining moment, cautioning, "Democracy is not a given, freedom is not a given, even Canada is not a given." Reminding everyone that nothing happens by accident, he added, "It takes courage, it takes sacrifice, it takes hope and hard work." Could this call for unity be the turning point that sparks a new chapter? In his very first address as the incoming Prime Minister, Mark Carney fired back with equal passion. He accused Trump of trying to seize control by force, declaring, "The Americans want our resources, our water, our land, our country." He pressed on, warning that Trump is attacking Canadian workers, families, and businesses. We cannot let him succeed. With a proud smile, the former banker celebrated the brave stand of Canadians, proclaiming, "I'm proud of the voices of Canadians who are making their voices heard and their wallets felt," as the crowd erupted in cheers. He continued, "Our provinces are stepping up to the fight. When we are united, we are Canada strong." With unwavering conviction, he added, "The Canadian government has rightly retaliated. My government will keep our tariffs on until the Americans show us respect." Will this bold counterstrike force a change in the cross-border tug-of-war? Earlier, Carney had made his stance known on the standoff between Trump and Trudeau, leaving many to wonder if he might ever seek a friendlier tone with Canada's closest neighbor. He had warned, "We have made this the greatest country in the world, and now our neighbors want to take us. No way." Before handing over power, Trudeau had announced that Canada would soon start imposing 25% tariffs on $155 billion of American goods, with $30 billion worth of products affected immediately. "This is a time to hit back hard and to demonstrate that a fight with Canada will have no winners," he said. Does this decisive action mark the beginning of a new economic battle, or is it just another twist in an ongoing drama? Mark Carney now steps into leadership during turbulent times. Canada finds itself locked in a trade war with its longtime ally, the United States, while an impending general election looms on the horizon. At 59, Carney captured an overwhelming 86% of the votes cast in a contest that saw nearly 152,000 party members vote, beating former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. Despite his status as a political newcomer, he argued that he is the one best suited to revive the party and steer trade negotiations with Trump, whose threats of more crippling tariffs hang heavy over Canada's export-reliant economy. Leading the race with the most endorsements and funds among four Liberal candidates, his historic win, being the first outsider without deep political roots to become Prime Minister, was bolstered by his unique experience as the first governor to head two G7 central banks in Canada and England. Will his fresh perspective truly reshape Canadian politics, or will old rivalries cast long shadows over the future? Throughout his campaign, Carney championed a strategy of dollar-for-dollar retaliatory tariffs against the United States, along with a coordinated plan to boost investment. He frequently criticized Trudeau's tenure, arguing that Canada's growth was simply not enough. The promise of a fresh start for the Liberal Party under his leadership, combined with Trump's tariff threats and his cheeky claims of annexing Canada as the 51st U.S. state, sparked an unexpected revival in the party's fortunes. Meanwhile, Trump maintained that the trade deficit with Canada justified further tariffs on imported goods. Just this Tuesday, he warned Trudeau that the United States was ready to unleash additional tariffs that could severely impact Canada's economy. Will these economic threats push Canada into a deeper conflict, or could they unexpectedly lead to a resolution? On social media, Trump lashed out with a pointed message. Please explain to Governor Trudeau of Canada that when he puts on a retaliatory tariff on the U.S., our reciprocal tariff will immediately increase by a like amount. During a recent cabinet meeting, he added, "We subsidize them $200 billion a year. Without us, Canada can't make it. You know, Canada relies on us 95%. We rely on them 4%. Big difference." Could this audacious challenge further stoke the flames of discord, or will it simply fuel a new round of debate? Trump didn't stop there. He even suggested that Canada should join the United States if they wish to avoid the tariffs. He declared, "I say Canada should be our 51st state. There's no tariffs, no nothing," adding a provocative twist to the dispute. He further argued that since the United States largely pays for Canada's military security, the country should contribute more in tariffs. We protect Canada. But it's not fair. It's not fair that they're not paying their way. And if they had to pay their way, they couldn't exist, he asserted. Will these bold claims reshape the balance of power, or merely intensify the existing strife? As 2025 begins, the political landscape shows dramatic shifts. Once trailing by over 20 points, the Liberal Party now finds itself statistically tied in several polls with the Conservatives, led by the seasoned Pierre Poilievre. On Sunday, outside Canada's Parliament in Ottawa, a group of citizens held up signs protesting Trump, stepping away from domestic issues to express their collective discontent. University of British Columbia politics professor Richard Johnston observed, "There is a rallying around the flag moment that we would never have predicted a year ago. I think it's probably true as we speak that the Liberals have been saved from oblivion." Could this surge in unity herald a new political era, or is it just a temporary burst of passion? Two Liberal insiders now reveal that Carney is expected to call an election in the coming weeks. However, polls indicate that neither the Liberals nor the Conservatives are likely to secure a majority government, making an election by October 20th inevitable. Although Carney can legally serve as Prime Minister without a seat in the House of Commons, tradition urges him to win one as soon as possible. Recall that in 1984, John Turner became Prime Minister without being a legislator after winning the Liberal leadership race. With the stakes higher than ever, will tradition guide the next move, or is a radical change on the horizon? In a recent advertisement, the Liberals compared Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre to Trump, prompting Poilievre to intensify his attacks on Carney on Sunday. At a campaign rally, Poilievre warned, "The Liberals are going to pull a sneaky trick. They're going to try to get elected for a fourth term by replacing Justin Trudeau with his economic advisor, Mark Carney. Donald Trump will have a big smile on his face." Carney, however, has downplayed any role he might have played in advising Trudeau, explaining that his many global duties left little time for such tasks. He even resigned from all commercial posts when he launched his leadership bid in January. As the political drama deepens and the nation watches with bated breath, will these rival jabs mark the end of an era or the start of a bold new chapter?